Mary Jane Garcia gets it. She's with the people and for the people. She really champions community.
Senator Garcia has been involved in many fronts, domestic abuse and child abuse, and has been in the forefront of carrying legislation.
She's an iconic figure. She has a passion for taking action and making sure that she deals with people who are marginalized by poverty.
Oh my goodness, a pleasure to meet you. How are you? How are you, Mr. Cano? Good to see you here.
Senator Mary Jane Garcia is Majority Whip in the State Senate of New Mexico, is able to work hand in glove with the public schools and fight for children's rights.
Most recently, she sponsored legislation requiring school districts to have policies to prevent bullying in their schools. She recognizes the consequences of bullying and has been just adamant about making sure that we are doing something to prevent that from happening to our children.
A lot of people bullied me, a lot. But then I finally stood up and said, I can't take this anymore. Can you please stop doing that?
Good for you.
Las colonias, they are characterized as communities without an infrastructure, i.e. paved roads, community water, police departments.
Doniana was considered a colonia. Before that, people didn't have running water, including my family. And what she did is she got a grant to help out with the water system, therefore eliminating outhouses, eliminating cesspools and septic tanks. In Doniana, we have a church, which is the oldest church in southern New Mexico, built in the 1840s. In 1970s, it was condemned, and it was just going to be torn down. So instead, she decided to work with troubled children, and she hired them through a grant as well.
She got these classes for the young men in town to learn how to make the adobe bricks. So they made the adobe bricks themselves, and then they rebuilt part of the church that was deteriorating.
There was 3 criteria that they had to pass in order to apply for this job. One of it was, of course, to be willing to work. Second was to go back to school or get their GED and go through counseling. In return, later on, they wanted a boxing facility, which she did. Now, the kids that were taking out the aggressions on other kids are now competing locally and doing very well.
She loves young people, and that love is what gives her that compassion for bettering life in the communities, or particularly las colonias.
She's always been concerned about the disenfranchised, the working poor.
She doesn't stop. I don't know where she gets this energy from, you know. She just moves all the time.
Everyone needs a heroine to look up to, and she's one of mine.
She leads with strength, she fights with courage, and as long as the people of New Mexico need her, she'll be there, helping them every step of the way. Here to accept the 2011 Reg Weaver Award, Senator Mary Jane Garcia.
Good evening, my friends, because you are my friends. I was going to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, but NEA have always been my best friends. That's why I have been in the State Senate for 23 years now. If I am reelected next year, I hope they continue to help me. You know, I flew in from New Mexico just yesterday and to accept this very prestigious and significant award, and the Reg Weaver Award, especially since I met him today in person. That was so awesome. It was really awesome. And then not only that, I also met the Reverend Loui. Oh my God, talk about civil and human rights. My God, what role models we have in our nation doing that. Anyway, It's with respect and honor, certainly, and great pride that I accept the Reg Weaver Award. This is probably the most humbling moment of my entire career. I've never gotten a national award, not from a group like NEA. My God, NEA Award. When they came to give me the news in my office, I started crying. I said, I can't believe that. There's thousands of people that are probably vying for that award. But anyway, you know, what can I say? That I love working with young people. I love the work that I do. If I am reelected next year, which would be my seventh year, my seventh term, I guess, I've won 6 terms, so that makes me 24 years next year. If I were to be reelected with the support of NEA, clearly, I would pledge to continue working for the disadvantaged, the abused, the at-risk students, and those that live in really dire poverty conditions. New Mexico happens to have the highest number of children in poverty, and I want to make a change in that regard, so I need to go back and do something about that. We all have budgetary problems and all that, but you know what? Education is the last place where they should cut. We're all facing that. You know, who takes care of our children after our parents? Who do they spend the most time with? The teachers. There are mentors. There are babysitters. There are entertainers. There are daycare centers. They're everything to a child, NEA. And teachers should always, always be respected for what they do. Anyway, I'm here to accept this very, very important award. And I want to also at this time, if I may, take the privilege to ask each of you for your prayers, because New Mexico is burning really bad. We have about 5 major fires. One of the most threatening one is at our scientific labs at Los Alamos, very near to the nuclear waste storage area. So I'm very fearful. We all are in New Mexico. If you go to the northern part of New Mexico from Socorro up through Albuquerque, you will see nothing but a black cloud of smoke. It's just everywhere. It's even going down to my area in the south, to the Gila Wilderness. The Rio Doso was one of the dead trees was struck by lightning, another fire. So they're all around New Mexico right now. We need prayer, and we especially need rain. You know, we're in a severe drought situation, so I'm hoping that all of you can remember New Mexico in your prayers. From the very bottom of my heart, I want to thank NEA for nominating me, all of those of you that were involved in the selection process, and may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. Gracias. Gracias a todos.